welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Little NBA bet action coming at ya. Fresh off some sweet cup games last night. We get some more cup games tonight. Inching closer to Vegas. And Patrick, this was my rooting interest last night, too. It was very fun to see Orlando put up a nasty fight, which we're going to talk about. But there was a part in the back of my head being like, I don't know how much Mo Wagner I want to see IRL. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got in the chat? Good morning. What's up, Sneeps? Sneeps, I'm assuming bet on Luka. The evolution of Sneeps betting habits has been incredible. Good to see you here this morning. National Gingerbread House Day. Bucks and 3.5 says Snoopaloop. Good to see you. Yeah, it was a coffee refill. Although then I noticed my Ember, you see, got the red light in the Ember. Which Ember, if you're watching, send me some shit. So we're gonna have to pound this. Maddie Harrison, we get smoke some. Excuse me, Matic Auto. Hump Day. Remember that Campbell commercial? We used to do great things. Yeah, I do. Mike. We have Vuvuzella's in the chat. Everybody's here. Nothing exciting is streaming the bit in traffic. There we go, Common Man. There we go. Hope everybody's having a fun little start to the day. Busy over here. Stubbs, what's up, Stubbs? Busy over here as we're getting ready to head to Viva Las Vegas. We're going to be out there Saturday to Wednesday. Excited to hang out with some friends. If you guys are going to be out there, make sure you hit me up. A lot of fun stuff planned while we're out there. And then for the rest of this week, no 89 Cavs tonight. No Cavs. No 89 Cavs tonight. That's my fault. I forgot. I'm going to see a show tonight. So I won't be able to do the 89 Cavs tomorrow. No NBA bit, Avi. And then Friday, we've got the NBA bit. New episode of Hoopsin should be coming out over the weekend. And then live before lock, baby, for some SORARE NBA action. I think that's it. Also, SORARE pushed a little update yesterday, which was kind of fun. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I think we should start with this before we talk about any of the basketball, okay? Before we talk any hoops here on the NBA bit, just an incredible Reddit thread that was sent to me this morning from about NBA Top Shot, about someone selling their stuff. And then it reminded me to take a look at the Dear Rohan video that we've shared so many times, right? But Top Shot Tony came out of retirement here to tweet, says, who made more money, you and your Top Shot collection or me and my music career? Dear Rohan has made 16 cents so far, but we are up only, baby, up only. Speaking of up only, let's get into the games last night. Let's start with the late one. That was a little spicier, I think. Oklahoma City takes the dub, 118-104. And man, when OKC is running, like when they are cooking on all cylinders, they look like the best team in the NBA. They really do. And I don't know how many people stayed up late for this one, but the way they ball hawk on defense, it's like a suffocating. I think that's the best word to say it. I think it's just suffocating the way that they run around out there. Look at how many steals they had. Four of their five starters logged at least one steal. iHeartRadio got one. SGA with 3 swipes. Case and Wallace with 2. The Dort Report had 1. And you know what? It's never too early for Dort Report. So if Weisberg's watching right now, turn your headphones down because Dorty Reporty coming in your ear. Just incredible stuff from them. And that doesn't even count the 3 from Kenrich Williams, the 2 from Caruso, the 1 from Aaron Wiggins, and 1 from AJ Mitchell. That's 14 steals. 14 steals. We're not even talking about bad pass turnovers or anything like that. That's just 14 steals. They had, the Mavericks ended up with 18 turnovers. And man, SGA, it's funny. Like, I think we all know SGA is going to get shutout no dunks, as Skeets always says. I think SGA, no matter the night, gets 31 points, unless it was last night. He got 39 points. But I don't know if we truly consider Shea to be in that upper echelon of MVP category. Like, we know he's there, but I think in a lot of our heads, we're like, Giannis, Luka, Jokic. Those are the guys that put up the crazy numbers each and every night. And then you see like SGA and Tatum on the outside looking in, but they're there. They're there, right? Shea's line last night is just so impressive, man. 39 points, 8 boards, 5 dimes, 3 steals, a block. And it's the Christmas season, so partridge in a pear tree as well. 15 for 23 from the field. But this is what is like the wild thing about Shea right now. He took 9 3-point attempts. 9. Knocking down 5 of them. It just changes the trajectory of this team. And shout out Tom Ziller at Good Morning It's Basketball, the newsletter. But here's a couple of things from his newsletter that if you are an OKC fan, gives you excitement heading into another playoff run. And if you're a Dallas fan, the thing that you were banking on gives you a couple of pauses for concern. Ready? And this is, again, Tom Ziller, Good Morning It's Basketball newsletter. Highly recommend. Dallas only grabbed 7 offensive rebounds and 42 opportunities. So that's 17%. After capturing 28% of those opportunities in the playoff series. Meanwhile, OKC had 17 offensive rebounds and 54 opportunities last night at 31%. That plus the turnover differential of 5+ for OKC allowed OKC to get 16 more shots than Dallas. I mean, that is like, and that's without Chet as well. That's also without Chet Holmgren, Chet Holmgren rocking like a velour suit, I think. Chet's built different in so many ways. Chet is built different. But OKC, I think, is really making their case right now for like the true 1 seed, not this regular season bullshit 1 seed, but the true 1 seed. And I think like holding that team to 104 points in Dallas. And listen, if you're Dallas, you're not freaking out, man. You were one of the hottest teams in basketball heading into that game. You're still 16-9. And you got like kind of so games from Luka. I mean, Luka didn't hit 10 points until like into the third quarter. Finished the game with 16 points, 11 boards, and 5 dimes. Also had 4 steals of his own. Kyrie only got up 14 shots. He had 17 and 5. You got 19 from Clay, who knocked down 5 triples. So you were without, maybe the reason they lost this game. Maybe the reason they lost this game is, who didn't play basketball last night?
PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington.
Yeah, no PJ in this game. I mean, to be fair, also no Chet Holmgren in this game, but no PJ. So I don't think this is like full panic mode for Dallas or anything. I think, to me, my takeaway, these are the 2 best teams in the Western Conference. That's how I feel. I think these are the 2 best, most complete teams in the Western Conference. Houston might have something to say about this later tonight as they take on Golden State. But when I think about, and we'll talk about that game in a little bit, but the way that OKC can score, the way that they can defend, Dallas has a bunch of different ways they can play while also having like the best player on the court most nights. To me, these are the 2 best teams in the Western Conference. And I hope we get a playoff series from them because that's what it felt like last night. OKC in the third quarter was just like, again, like I was saying, just swallowing up every single possession. And then though the 3-pointers were falling. I mean, they got Case and Wallace to knock down a couple. SGA, we already mentioned, 5 for 9. They didn't even get like a really good J-Dub game last night. I think his line ended up being okay at 18, 7, and 4, but 0 for 3 from 3, 8 for 21. And then Hartenstein had 10 and 13, Dort with 11 and 6, Kaysen with 11 and 8, and they got 9 from Kenrich off the bench and 9 from Isaiah Joe as well. And then like Dallas, man, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Dallas. I'm not. Again, they played them tough. It was a fun game. And this is the point I was starting to make when they made this run in the third quarter. It looked like Dallas was going to roll over, and then Kyrie, I think, hits back-to-back like corner threes with like shot clocks winding down. All of a sudden, they go on a 10-0 run. I think they made it an 8-point game at one point. And it seemed like, good resilience, good fight from Dallas, but ultimately falls short. So OKC is heading to Las Vegas. They're going to take on the winner of tonight's game between Houston and Golden State, which will be a fun one, especially because I believe Şengün is questionable going into tonight. Wiggins already cleared to play. So we'll make some picks a little bit later. But I don't know. I think OKC is... I mean, whatever. Of course, they're the clear 1 seed. They are the best team in the West right now. But I like... They are answering more questions than leaving unanswered right now. And I like it. Let's go over to the Eastern Conference here. Let's go to the other game last night between the Bucks and the Magic. And And maybe Snoopaloo feels different. Also, Snoopaloo's a clean sweep and props last night. Let's go, buddy. This win right here is like the opposite of what I saw in OKC Dallas. The Bucks left questions unanswered. This is the Magic. These are the Magic players last night. Let's look at the starting five. Tristan da Silva, Wendell Carter Jr., Goga Bitadze, KCP, Jalen Suggs. That's your starting five. Your bench, Mo Wagner, Anthony Black, which, by the way, not to victory lap some stuff here, but if we want to talk some SORARE, some fantasy, some props, everybody was like, ooh, Cole Anthony. And I was like, you know what? Sign me up for Anthony Black, okay? Everybody's going to go way overreact to that one Cole Anthony performance who has been very bad this year. And then what happened? Anthony Black was the king last night for the Magic off the bench. Look at this stat line. In 32 minutes, 17, 6, and 3 with 3 swipes and a block. Cole Anthony, on the other hand, 2 for 12. 2 for 12 in 15 minutes. He was almost averaging a field goal attempt per minute. Finished the game with 4 and 2. But back to the point, I think like what was concerning for Milwaukee here, like 37 from Giannis, 28 from Dame, 22 from Bobby off the bench. And then nobody else in the double figures. AJ Green came closest with 9. They just should have been able to put this team away. And maybe we just credit Orlando to the defense that they play. And that's why they're able to stay in this game. Again, final score 114-109. But I don't know. Let's go back to the Tom Ziller newsletter here for a second, because I wanted to mention he also brought up Giannis's like a crazy stat from Giannis that I did not know. He's all right. So again, Tom Ziller, good morning, it's basketball. Leading scorer at 32.7 points per game. He has not shot under 50% a single game this season. He's had at least 20 points and 50% or better shooting in every single one of the 22 games this season. Milwaukee now starting to rip off some W's, 13 and 11, and they get to head to Vegas again, where Giannis and SGA battling for maybe the MVP right now. Snoop says, what? You don't take the Bucks seriously with squeaking by that team the Magic ran out there? Yeah, I mean, like, listen, if you were watching this game, they like the coaching and mismanagement down the stretch in the third quarter that allowed Orlando to surge back and hang around was just like weird stuff, right? The Bucks defense held the Magic to 13 points in the third quarter, and then still couldn't put it away. But look at this Giannis line: 37 points, 7 boards, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Fortunately, had 6 turnovers, and then 15 for 24 from the field. Dame, 10 for 10 from the line. He had 28 and 9. Bobby again with 22 and 10. Good double from him. Ultimately, like, listen, if you're Orlando, I think, what's up, Marco? The thing that we learned, I think the thing that we're learning about these young teams is that, like, if you can defend, you can hang. And I don't know if that's because, like, in November, December, it's hard for teams to get up for these regular season games, even if it's a cup game, to, like, play playoff level defensive, like, defense. And that is what you see from teams like Orlando. That's what you see from teams like Houston, and honestly, OKC as well, when that swarming defense. And I think that is what kept Orlando in the game. But if you're Milwaukee, man, like, you just keep riding Giannis. That's all you do, man. He's making a case. It was a great piece about him. I forget who wrote it, about like his drive to try to get back into the MVP conversation again this year. I mean, like, his numbers are nuts. Giannis's numbers are so nuts. And I think like the Bucks, listen, you beat the teams in front of you. Sure, it wasn't pretty. They get the W and they move on. They move to Vegas, right? Snoop Loop says, between having Rivers as a coach and absolutely no wing defenders, unless Giannis or Dame drop 35, they aren't very good. Well, and listen, you've been doing this without Chris Middleton for the most part, right? Mitty last night came off the bench, played 20 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 2 shooting, did have 8 boards, 4 dimes, and 3 steals. I think as he gets healthier, that's a good sign. But I mean, the Brook Lopez thing is kind of run its course, right? He's had a tough stretch of games, man. 7.6 boards in 28 minutes, but just kind of a non-factor out there. And they need a little bit more of an interior presence here, both on offense and defense. But Snoop's right. Anytime they're going to play a team that has wings that can attack, they're in trouble. Like, I do think if Franz is playing in this game, Orlando probably gets the nod here, because I just don't know who they have that can stay in front of them, right? And that's why the Celtics are always a tough matchup for them. And then you look ahead at who they might be playing in the next round. It's either the winner of the Knicks game tonight, the Knicks and Hawks game tonight, right? And maybe they don't get one of those guys in that matchup because it's like, I don't know, are you scared of Bridges or OG Anunoby right now? And on Atlanta, I mean, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, if he's healthy, he's questionable tonight. So I don't really know who you'd be scared of until you got to either the OKC Thunder, which like J-Dub just carving you up would be a little scary. But I feel like this is too negative for Milwaukee, who actually won the game. Milwaukee, the only team to go to both semifinal matchups here in Emirates Cup history, in the NBA Cup history. Bucks head back to Vegas. And again, as Patty Coyne said in the chat, selfishly, I was like, I don't think I want to watch Tristan da Silva in Las Vegas. I would much rather see Giannis and Dame in person. So very excited for that. Congrats to Milwaukee. Congrats to OKC. I want to, just because we're kind of talking about this for a second, I'm going to go over to SORARE just to show you the sweat we got going on here in the Rare Champ. Kyrie let me down a little bit, but this is what our squad's looking like right now. We're currently in 24th place because we had the 60 spot from Giannis, 64 from Suggs. We still got Jimmy Butler to go. He plays tomorrow night, which we're going to talk about Jimmy here in a second. You got Kyrie Irving with 37. That was a bummer. And then Precious Achiuwa has got one game left tonight as well. So hopefully we build on that. But that's pretty fun. We got a nice little sweat going. That's really my contender. We kind of have a sweat going too. We had 45 from Brunson, 40 from Anthony Black. Unfortunately, only one from Caleb Houston. The Houston experiment did not quite work like we had planned. But let's talk Jimmy Butler a little bit. There was a piece from Shams Charania, now of ESPN, talking about Jimmy Butler is officially on the trade market, although it was pretty interesting, the conversation around it yesterday. So this story drops in the morning. Shams releases basically just saying the teams that could be interested. They mentioned the Houston Rockets, which I think is hilarious that they mentioned the Houston Rockets, because Houston spent the last 2 weeks having their sources leaked to different podcasters and ESPN and NBA reporters that Houston has no interest in making any sort of meaningful move this season. They said it over and over. I think we even did a segment on it last week where we were like, Houston is going to be this year's OKC. Let them have a full playoff run, see what works and what does not work in a real playoff environment, and then come back to the table next year and see what happens, right? And that is not what happened. That's not what happened, because now Houston supposedly is in the market for Jimmy Butler. The other main team that they mentioned was the Golden State Warriors, which we'll talk about again in a second. But after this happened, Jimmy Butler, my man loves that sweet, sweet attention. Jimmy did not talk to reporters after practice, just kind of walked off. Eric Spoelstra then made a couple of comments basically saying this is the same situation as Stan's best friend, Tyler Hero. But basically saying we have no interest in moving off of Jimmy Butler, just like we had no interest in moving off of Tyler Hero. So we'll have to see what the vibes are like in Miami moving forward. I don't imagine, I know Jimmy had his thing with Minnesota. This feels like a very different scenario. I don't see Jimmy just kind of going full blow it up mode, especially with Miami playing much better basketball the last 2 weeks. I don't see it being a huge problem. We'll have to see. They got a juicy matchup against Toronto on Thursday, tomorrow night, so we can see how people react then. But I did think it was interesting. I don't know what Miami would want from Houston. We know Houston has all of their picks that are available that they can move off of. They got I think they also have a Brooklyn pick from the James Harden trade from way back when. But I don't think they're going to move off Amin Thompson or Tari Eason. And I imagine if you're Miami and you're moving off Jimmy Butler, you want something like that in return. I don't see them doing it for a Jalen Green. I can't imagine they're putting Jalen Green and Tyler Hero next to each other. I don't see them doing it for any, Şengün's not going to be involved in this. So I don't really know why that situation would make sense. And then Golden State was the other option, which I thought was a little bit more interesting. We joked when Steve Kerr moved Jonathan Kuminga into the starting lineup. we were like, oh, yeah, well, Draymond Green being the wily vet by agreeing to come off the bench. It's like, no, they're going to put Kuminga in the starting lineup for 3 weeks. They're going to hope he averages like 20 and 9, and then they're going to trade his ass. However, in order to make a trade like that for Jimmy Butler to work because of the new CBA and blah, 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 Andrew Wiggins is probably going to have to be included in that trade as well to get Jimmy Butler because of the salary matching that they're going to need to happen. So basically, it would have to be like Wiggins and Kuminga. I actually don't know, but I'm assuming some version of Wiggins and Kuminga because again, the Miami Heat aren't going to just trade Jimmy Butler for Andrew Wiggins. That's not interesting to them. So because again, Miami's still competitive. So I don't see them just, I think this is more smoke and mirrors than anything else. I do know because like Jimmy Butler is in a contract year, it's pretty interesting. Like that Miami wants to weigh their options a little bit, but I don't know. Do you guys in the chat think that Jimmy's actually getting moved? I really don't see Houston doing it. I think it would be a mistake for Houston to press the fast forward button right now to try to make a move happen. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't really see it. But speaking of the OKC, speaking of the Golden State Warriors, though, let's take a look at tonight's matchup. So tonight, actually, let me pull this up. Let's look at the line. Let's look at the line from the worldwide leader, ESPN. So the first game's at 7:00 tonight. I don't think I'm going to be watching the first game, which has bummed me out a little bit. But we've got Wednesday, December 11th. Atlanta Hawks are 7.5-point dogs against the New York Knicks. But look at this total of 236.5. There was 2 questionable tags for the Hawks and 1 for the Knicks. So we have Josh Hart has a questionable tag tonight. And then for Atlanta, Bogdan Bogdanovic and Jalen Johnson. I feel like this spread would have been closer to like 4.5 if we thought Jalen Johnson was playing. The only reason I say that is because the Knicks were like 6.5-point favorites in Toronto. And so like Atlanta's a much better team. So this makes me think that the Knicks are going to be at full strength, but that the Hawks will not be. So which would suck because I really want Jalen Johnson to play. I'm such a Jalen Johnson believer. So that's too bad. I kind of think Atlanta keeps this game a little bit closer too. Even Atlanta's been playing some pretty good ball lately. What are they right now? 13-12. But let's look at their. I'm not going to pull it up on your screen, but I'm going to pull it up on my screen. Let's look at Atlanta's recent run here in the Southeast Division. So, excuse me, we're battling a little the beginnings of a cold, I think. So they lost their most recent game to Denver, but prior to that, they were on like a 6-game win streak. They'd beaten Cleveland twice in back-to-back games, then Charlotte, New Orleans, Milwaukee, and the Lakers before dropping that game to Denver. So Atlanta's been playing some good ball, and Trae Young, honestly, has been playing pretty good as well, getting everybody involved. I believe he's leading the league in assists right now, and has been playing good ball. So I think I would take Atlanta to cover, but the Knicks to win to bing bong it up and make their way to the finals, making their way downtown to Las Vegas. But the more intriguing game for me, the Houston Rockets, 1.5-point faves against the Golden State Warriors with a 223.5 total. I mentioned Şengün is questionable tonight. That line makes me think the Gooner's playing, right? 1.5 points. That makes me think he's playing. So I think we're going to get a full. I'm very interested in this game because I think Houston is a much better team than Golden State, but Golden State is used to the stakes, if you will. So I don't know. I kind of think this is. I think Houston wins this game, but I think it's going to be close. But that's it. That's like all we've got. It's weird. I feel like we're almost. It feels like it's the Eastern or Western Conference Finals portion of the season, where like there's only 2 games going on, and normally we're used to breaking down like 10 or 11 spots. I don't think there's too much to take away from the one game we've had since the last NBA bit, and that was the Knicks and Raptors, where Cat ended up playing. Brunson got dinged up, but then came back in the game. Scotty Barnes got hurt. Looks like he rolled an ankle, but the imaging was clean, they said. So hopefully it's more of a day-to-day thing. But there's nothing really. Cat hit a big 3 and was like, hey, this New York, new fucking York. So congrats to Karl Anthony Towns for finding a home where people like him for now. But let's you guys want to build a little pick'em? We're actually going to be building a pick'em today on IKB. We're going to be building on IKB, although I still need to do some verifications. If you haven't signed up for IKB, let's do a referral here. Oh, I got 46 referrals. Wow, it keeps track of them. If you haven't signed up for IKB, go ahead and do it. As I mentioned before, it used to be where this was like you could only get cash on through like one form, but now you can do PayPal and stuff, which is cool. All right, let's do. Oh, and you can just do money lines and stuff. Whoa, that's kind of spicy. Can you like do? Can you do 2 of them? Pick a minimum of. I bet you could. So you could take like Atlanta money line and then add something else to it. Could you? Oh, same game parlays are not yet supported. Oh, so it's just straight. So can we do this though? Oh, no, you can only pick one. Interesting. But we could do from a different game. All right, so let's just do a 2-leg parlay then. The ones I like the most tonight, we'll also build one on underdog too, where we can get a little bit spicier. But for our IKB pick for tonight, we're gonna stay with the dimes, and I think we're gonna go Buddy and Dyson. Buddy only needs 2 dimes, and I know you don't know Buddy to be a passing machine. But let's see if the line's there. Oh, it's not there. All right, so no Buddy. So let's go to Dyson instead. Dyson 3.5 dimes. Interesting. That's a 1.12. Well, all right, so let's find me another play then in the Houston game here. Find me another play in the Houston game. Let's go to Golden State Houston. What about Tari Eason? Does he have some lines? Oh yeah. Let's do I think we do 18.5 points and rebounds. That's a little 4x. 25 to win 108. That's not bad, right? Dyson Daniels, Tari Eason. I like that one. I'm going to go over to underdog here quickly, too. Common Man says Fade Şengün. Yeah, I actually don't hate that take, too. I was going to save this for... excuse me, guys. Really battling the elements today. I was going to save this for the show that I'm doing later for the VIP members, but I was looking at the rankings, and I moved Şengün to 4th. I don't know how well you can see that, but I moved him down to 4th for that very reason. Like he projects for the 2nd highest, but I think I would prefer to have Trey and Brunson over him. I think I would take him over Steph Curry, but anyways, let's build a pick him over here. Let's see if we can get those assists that I was mentioning earlier. So Dyson, let's do Dyson Daniels. 3.5 dimes. Let's see if Buddy has some dimes up. Dime it up, Buddy. There it is. Bang. Look at that. 1.35x. And let's do a Şengün fade. I think if we do the full fade, it's points, rebounds, and assists, right? 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not going to fade Brunson. Only, like, I get what you're saying. I'm just too nervous. To fade Brunsanity. But I kind of like this. This is 10x here. 25 to win 238. It's probably not going to let me. Hold on. Yeah, it's not going to let me. All right, hold on. I'll put it on my phone and then I'll send the link into the chat. But for those podcast listeners, we get Dyson Daniels higher than 3.5 assists. Beautiful. We've got Buddy Hield. We're going to go higher than 1.5 dimes. Beautiful. And then last but not least, we're going to do the Şengün fade of 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's 25 to win how much? 238. We love to see it. I'm going to copy the link. Also, if you guys have anything else you want to get into, that's really it for the NBA bit this morning. So if you guys have some spicy stuff you want to talk about, put it into the chat. Happy to get involved with a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Excited for Vegas. I really am excited for Vegas. Hold on. Let me get this, copy and paste this link so I can share it in the chat. Not that you guys are going to tail anyways, but if you do tail, it's fun. Not that it's financial advice. All right, drafts. Reminder too, no 89 Cavs tonight. No 89 Cavs. All right, here we go. Copy and paste. So yeah, here the link is now into the chat. Yeah, I think that, that's true. Good point. You do enjoy fading some Brunson. So on Underdog tonight, they're doing the 9K. It's like 9K up top for the NBA here. So these are some of my lineups so far. What I think the reason I like moving Şengün to 4 or 5 in the ranks is that you can, if he falls, you get some like pretty juicy like lines here. So this is a Trae Young Brunson start. We had Trae at the 4, Brunson at the 5. But let me see if I can find some here. There were some with Şengün from earlier. Let's see. That's Şengün Anunoby. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for second round. Oh, yeah, like Şengün Brunson. Şengün Brunson is like such a sick start. We have a couple of these that I think, like Şengün Curry, too, another solid one. Şengün, Jalen Johnson, if he plays. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at tonight. Also, it's Best Ball Advancing Day. So if you guys are playing NFL Best Ball, oops, that's not the one that I want. That they advanced that today, which will be pretty exciting. We got quite a few through. We ended up getting 20 lines through, 20 Best Ball Mania. So 20 teams still alive, which is cool. We also got we did one big money one, which is a $101 entry, and that one barely got through. Actually, not barely. The top 3 got through. So that one got through, which is pretty spicy. So we have some fun ones. Snoop Loop was saying, let's talk about the guy that got $7 million to go to BYU. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, dude, like college sports is dead. I'm sorry. Like I was probably like this the whole time, and now it's just out in the public, but it's dead. It's dead. Although you'd have to pay me $7 million to go to BYU too, I think. You know? Don't they have like the legs on the floor, feet on the floor rule in their dorms or something? Maybe I'm making that up. Man, this beard is getting peppery. No, it's not. It's salty. I should have said salty. It's the opposite of peppery. Guys, I apologize. I think we got a quick show today. I don't think we have anything else. I don't think there's any other storylines that we were missing here. We're going to Vegas. We had some fun games there. Kawhi back at practice, but he's not coming back anytime soon. I don't know. I think that's it. Do you have any work while you're in Vegas for SORARE? Yeah, we're going to be doing some videos. We're hosting a happy hour. I don't know what day yet, but probably Monday would be my guess. That's when SORARE VIPs get in on Saturday, but the SORARE team, I don't think gets in until Monday. So I imagine most of the work. I mean, I'm going to be doing some work for myself, but for SORARE, probably on Monday will be most of it. I'm nervous. I'm getting a cold right now. I need to get this out of the system by Saturday. I need to. You know what the problem was? I was out in the rain last night, so this was fucking guaranteed to happen. Yeah, let's see, dude. It's been so long since I've been to OpenSea that I don't even have it, like, it doesn't like pop up. Let's see, NBA X NFT. Wait, what was it called? Was it just called NBA X NFT? Is it this one? No, collected 70. But this is the wrong collection, right? Where's the collection? What's it called? Is it NBA NFTX? No, that's not it either. The association. Here we go. Now we got it, baby. Let's see. This is a throwback. Yes, look at this. Tyler Hero. What's 0.004 ETH right now? Cheapest one, $17. Tyler Hero. There you go, Stan. Look at that artwork. Just flawless. Zach LaVine. They barely fit the V in there. Just really good stuff. Juan Stockton said, my Mavs haven't had back-to-back home games since November 6th. I think they chose to stay home the next 15 days. I don't think they lost on purpose, Juan. I don't think they lost. I don't know how many NBA teams or players are like, let's lose this one on purpose. I think that's like, it ends up being a benefit for you guys, though. I don't think they're mad that they're staying home. I don't think they lost on purpose, though. But it can make you feel better, all right, dogs, let's call it there. I'm going to go drink some tea, some honey. That's true, Snoop. Like, what is the real fair market value, next time on the morning marketplace. Actually, let's close with that video. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're a VIP member, should have something up around 1 p.m. a little bit later today, maybe a little later if we wait for Şengün news. But unless my voice dies, then I won't do it, and I'll just write something up. But see you guys on Friday, a little NBA bit, and then a little live before lock. We out skis.